I think there's two things that we can do. One is to speak openly and candidly about what's working and what's not to each other. And second is be willing to help each other. I've been thinking over the last 2 days about whether groups could host visits from other organizations to show them what they're doing. It's one thing to hear about it in a presentation or at a conference. It's another thing to see it in action. So I've been wondering whether some organizations could invite others to come actually observe what they're doing, warts and all, so that they can think about how to import that into their organization.
I think that the theme of the summit is exactly right for this, which is to make the various interesting and effective tools that are out there for feasibility available to everyone in an easy way, in a low-cost way. And I think by coming together and working on this together, we can do that more effectively.
The biggest takeaway for us so far, I sat on an excellent breakout session about diversity and making sure that we're being appropriate from a cultural perspective around feedback. And I think this is an area, again, where we as Fund for Shared Insight and we as a movement working on feedback have a lot to learn and to think about very carefully about what it means to hear from the diverse voices of those who are often not heard from, and how to be appropriate culturally in terms of how we understand what that feedback means, how to collect the information in culturally appropriate ways, whether it be language or self-identifying in terms of ethnicity or gender. And I just think there's a lot more for us to explore with that. And we had some really good conversations about that. It's just the beginning, I think, of conversations, looking to our peers and others to be more experts on that to help inform our work. And just, again, to make sure that feedback really is about hearing from everyone in a way that they can express themselves in a way that's culturally and ethnically appropriate, and that we can interpret and understand that information that they're giving us and help engage them and helping us understand what that data really means.
I think what's terrific about the summit is the combination of so many different kinds of people who are here. So it's quite unusual to have a gathering of people who are from government, from philanthropy, from the nonprofit sector, as well as those who are focused domestically and globally. It's just a very unusual mix that can talk together, learn together. So what I really hope happens is that kind of cross-fertilization of ideas where people coming from slightly different spaces in the social sector inspire each other and bring the best and most promising ideas from their practice to another part of the practice.
You know, this community that you're seeing here at the summit is a real community. It's got doers and thinkers. It's got funders and implementers. It has researchers and technology platforms. Everyone's working together really as equals. I have to give a special shout out to the funders who are coming together in this effort. Led by the Fund for Shared Insight, there are now 35 funders, foundations all over the United States and soon to be in the UK and Europe, who are pulling together and backing this effort, backing it financially, backing it intellectually, backing it operationally in some cases. That's extremely unusual, and I think we all should tip our hat to the extraordinary efforts of the Fund for Shared Insight, Hewlett Foundation, USAID, World Bank, many funders who are pulling together to do this together.